How's it going, lads? So in today's video, I will be discussing about a hidden trick no one talks about in this industry. And I gotta admit, I'm actually quite surprised no one talks about it because, to be honest, it really is slept on. So I really want to bring it to all of yours attention. But before we do that, I just want to quickly say, do not subscribe and do not like. By the end of the video, I will have earned your subscription. Stay tuned till the end. When people ask me for one tip to give them to getting better at investing, I always say don't overinvest. It's as simple as that. Never ever overinvest. And there's a simple reason why. Because this game, the Pokemon investing game, is pretty much just whoever can hold on to the item the longest wins. And basically it's as simple as that. It's just simple. And for anyone who's new to the hobby, the reason why is because it's a sealed product and it's deflationary. Deflationary means that there are less in supply, meaning people who say this hits $1,000 tomorrow, people who don't sell it, they are rewarded because it goes up. Now, then say it goes up to 2,000, half of the people sell. Then it goes to 3,000, another half sell. Then it goes to 4,000, and you're just cutting that population of people holding. And then all of a sudden, this is 10K, and then all the people who held, which is like barely any, are all the winners. And then everybody bitches and moans, oh, I had so many boxes. Oh, if only I was holding them. That's not how the game works. The game is hold it. Not if only, it is hold it. So that's the thing. So basically what people do is they tend to overinvest because they FOMO into something. Now, stay in this video because trust me, I'm getting to my point. Basically, there's somebody out there right now who has bought 100 of these. They love the product and they bought 100 of these. Say they paid 100 AUD dollars each, so Australian dollars each. So then they put 10K into it, okay? There is also somebody else out there who put 5K into it. So he bought 50 bundles. Now, let's say hypothetically, the guy who bought 10K worth probably shouldn't have bought 10K. Perhaps he got a little excited and he bought a lot. Well, he's going to sell them when it doubles in price. Generally, people who invest a larger portions tend to sell really quickly. They're locking in profits, and for them, they can lock in a 10K profit very easily. Now, the guy who put 5K in, once it doubles, he's not happy with that. He's thinking, you know what, 5K in the grand scheme of things isn't really a lot. He's happy to hold on to it. So then it hits $200, $300, $400, and he just doesn't have a problem. He easily holds it. But these card payments come in, so then he goes, okay, this is $400 of booster bundle. I'm going to sell it. But then, skip 5 years later, and these booster bundles are $1,000 each. But there is someone out there who bought 10. Only 10. But because he bought so little, his cash that he had to dedicate was not that much. Meaning, he could very easily hold it. So then that one guy who just bought 10 is now sitting on a $10,000 fortune. They are all pretty much sitting on the same fortune. The only difference is that the guy who put in the least amount of money could afford to hold it for longer. Now, of course, if you're more wealthy than someone else, then $10,000 for you may be worth less than $10,000 for someone else. But generally, if you get 10 people in the room, all of them have the same financial situation, the person who ultimately wins is the person who invested the least. Obviously, unless they bought like half a bundle, that's just stupid. But the person who invested the least, but they held on to it the longest. This is a proven strategy for time and time again. Say team up boxes. If there's someone out there who bought a case of team up boxes for 1K a box, so he bought a team up case box for $6,000. And then once it doubled in price, he was happy. But then there's that one guy who just bought one cheeky little box, and then once the box hit 10K, then he sold it and he's happy. That's the thing. So sometimes investing a lot is actually the poor decision. It's not that you'll make less gains. It's literally the fact that someone else can invest half as much as you. But the thing is, he's dedicated half as much liquidity, but he will make the same amount as you because usually people who invest a lot are forced to sell it. Now, I want to use a good example. A very, very kind gentleman gave me this Evolving Skies blister. So I have no reason to sell this, partially because it was given to me as a gift, but more than likely is the fact that it's only one blister. Let's be real for a second. This is worth about 65 bucks. What am I going to do? I'm going to make a listing, take pictures and all that, go to the post office for like 50 bucks. Why bother? But the thing is, there is someone out there who has bought, say, 20 of these. And he bought them when they were $10 each. Or no, he bought 100 of them when they were $10 each. And then once they doubled, he took his profit. But then you have some people where maybe I bought one or two at $10 each. But because I'm happy to hold on to it and then it reaches $70, I'm actually holding the same amount of value as him. The only difference is that I had to spend more time holding it. This is what I find is the best way to invest. Generally, the people I notice who invest the most generally seem to sell the fastest. There is a correlation between someone who invests a lot and selling the fastest. So let's look at this Prismatic SBC, right? This Prismatic SBC costed me $169. So I got 4 Prismatic SBCs on release, and I sold all of them except for one. Now, theoretically, I could have held all of them and I would have a large holdings in SBCs, but my decision was I want to have zero skin in the game. I want to make my money back and a little bit of profit. So that's exactly what I did. I sold 3 of them, so I was sitting on some profit, and this one was free. The thing is, I will never sell this SPC. I have no need to. It's not like I have 20, I have a car payment, and I have the mob that I owe money to, and I owe the government money, and I owe my dad money. Like, no. I literally just, it's free. It's here. I have no reason to sell it. I have no desire. I'm all caught up on my bills. I don't owe anybody money. There is no debt I have. I have more than enough money in the bank, so there is no need for me to sell this. That is what's called a good position. That is a good foundation. You don't want to build a foundation on overinvesting because you're gonna have to sell it really quick. Now, the thing is, there is a bit of an edge that younger people have, right? So this item continuously ticks up in value. So the stock market and the crypto market and other markets go up and down and up and down and up and down. The difference between the Pokemon market is it only goes up, the sealed market specifically. Yes, the demand can dwindle, but so does the supply, so they match up, right? So the thing is, if you have more time than someone else, you're going to do far better than them. A 70-year-old investing in Pokemon, which, I mean, there probably aren't many, but a 70-year-old investing in Pokemon is going to do far worse than a 20-year-old investing in Pokemon. The sooner you start is the better. Now, this works for investing as a whole, but I say it so strongly with Pokemon because if you bought any box from 10 years ago and you're still holding to this day, you would be considered a saint. You would be considered like as visionary. And the thing is, at the end of the day, let's be real, SBCs are probably going to be a couple $1,000s in 10 years. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if an SBC is like 3K in 10 years. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe not 3K, let's say 2.5, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they're 2.5 in 10 years. I don't see why. It's a fantastic box. It's a little underwhelming for SBCs, but it's overall pretty solid. So the thing is, at the end of the day, I have one SBC. Say I hold it for 10 years and then sell it for 3K, right? Well, if someone else was holding 8 or they were holding 5 and they sold each one for $500. Say someone was holding 5, they sold each one for $500. We would literally be sitting on the same amount of cash. The only difference is that I had to wait longer, but I could invest less. So the thing is, you have this serious edge when you're younger. And I want to make myself clear. When I say younger, I literally mean like 45 and under, right? So if you're 45 and under, you have so much time. Now, I'm not trying to like butter up, like 40-year-olds. At the end of the day, if you're like 20 years old, you have way more of an edge. In fact, literally the younger you are, the more you have an edge. I know someone who's invested in Pokemon and the dude is 12. In 10 years' time, he's going to be 22. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if SPCs were 3K in 10 years' time. Like, this dude is starting so early, so then come 22, someone else that would be fresh out of college, this guy could be sitting on so much money because he's already starting now. And that's how it's done. So the thing is, you don't have to, if you're 30, right? At the end of the day, if holding for 10 years is not really a problem. Like, you're going to be 40 just like that, right? So the thing is, like, time flies really, really quickly. So the thing is, it's all about buying a small amount, but just never holding. And I try to teach people this, and people kind of don't really seem to, not understand it, but they hear it, but then they just kind of brush it off. They brush off the importance of it. If I could give someone one tip, it would literally be don't invest and don't sell. The reason is because it's about acquiring. I have 40 151 booster bundles. I have not been able to shut the hell up about 151 booster bundles for months now, right? So the thing is, if for someone like me, you would think, oh, you don't really have that many bundles, right? Like, I know people who have 200 bundles. I know someone has 400 bundles, right? So then you'd think, oh, okay, so Sam doesn't really have that much. He doesn't have that much skin in the game. Yeah, but the difference is I have no debt. I can hold on to those until I die. And that's the thing. I have literally no obligation to sell those whatsoever. You can literally do just as well as somebody because you were willing to hold longer. And at the end of the day, realistically, if we're being real for a minute, why sell it? Let's be real for a second. Why sell? At the end of the day, if you don't have any payments coming up, if you don't have any pressure for you to sell it, there's no need to. And the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, everybody thought Team Up peaked at 3K a box. Everybody thought like, yeah, Sun and Moon is a decent era, but the boxes are pretty expensive. Oh no, we were all wrong. Well, except for a couple, but Team Up is now 10K a box. Cosmic Eclipse is like, what, 4K a box? Unbroken Bonds is almost 3K a box. Like, that is ridiculous. So I definitely believe that the problem about the market is you can't predict the market like whatsoever. So your best bet is just buy something and just hold it. Like, literally just hold it. Unless you bought Vivid Voltage or Paradox Rift, just buy good sets and then just hold it and forget about it. Don't overinvest. That's the lesson for today. Have a good one.